Queen with Soft Eye Boutique, here to just talk about something really quickly. Gonna try to make it, as quick as possible. Never let a man tell you he do not want you more than once. Okay, I just saw this online about this influencer talking about how her father told her to never let a man tell you or even show you that he doesn't want you more than once. And I just want to get on here and talk about a couple of my experiences. I know that some of these guys watch my pages, and that's okay. I know that they do because I'm queen. And so they always gonna try to follow up to see what I'm doing. Right? So one of the best examples that I can think of is when I was around the conscious community, and I always stress this before they left me, because I never left. Okay, before they left me, I don't know if it was I really don't know if it was a situationship or a relationship to this day, but that's really neither here nor there for this video. But I was dealing with this guy, and I was driving back and forth to the state of Georgia to see him because he didn't have a car. So that was red flag number one, that I should have not been dealing with him. And then I was just about to graduate from grad school, and I was entering law, and then about to enter law school when I was still dealing with him. So long story short, right, it was my first year of law school. That's known as the 1L year. So it was my 1L year of law school, and it was my first semester of my 1L year of law school. I was already on my way out the door with him because when I graduated from grad school, in May of 2015, and I started law school in August of 2015. So I didn't have a break between grad school and law school. And he came to Louisiana for my graduation, for me to get my master's degree. And he tried everything in his power to really ruin my day. I'm not going to get into the background of what he did either, because at this point, I really don't even care at this point, because you're going to find out the ending. How my ancestors and God got my back for all those who trespassed against me. But he tried everything that he could to ruin my graduation day. And at that time, that's when he met the men in my family. And this is why I stress to young ladies, do all that you can to have a man that you're related to meet a guy that you are dating, or even just kicking it with, or even having a situationship with, because they are going to tell you, whether you want to accept the truth or not, they're going to tell you. So just like women, we can see things in other women, men can see other things in men that we can't see. So the men in my family, they met him, and they immediately told me, you need to get rid of him. Those were their words verbatim. And I really just didn't listen. Now, mind you, it's May 2015. I'm just receiving my master's degree, preparing for law school. So I really just wasn't really in a state of mind. I heard what they said, but I just wasn't in the state of mind to actually receive what they were saying. But thank God that the time period from when they told me to the time period where I left him alone was not that long, because December 5th, 2015, it was toward the end of my first semester of law school. I don't even think it was December. I think it may have been November 2015 where I left him alone. Right? So it wasn't that long of a time period where they told me to leave him alone, even though I should have listened right then and there. But when they first told me, but but long story short, right? Flash forward, I realized when it was time for me to take my final exams, because the law school that I went to, we didn't have midterms. Your grade was what you got on the final exam. And I kind of accepted that the first time when I realized, hey, I'm in a professional school. I'm going to have this is really serious to become an attorney. And he already had tried to ruin my master's degree, because I did the non-thesis route, but even with that, I still had to write it pretty much was still a thesis that I had to write, and he tried to ruin that. So when it came time for me to take my final exams, I knew that I had to get rid of him. But if you just look at God and, man, signs follow, they do not precede, right? I was talking to him I don't know if he came to Louisiana or what, or if I went to Georgia, or if it was over the phone. I really cannot remember, but it had to have been in person, or maybe it was video phone, because I remember him looking me in the eye and flat out telling me, I do not want to be with you. I don't want you. And when he said that, like, I'm serious, he said it verbatim. And when he said that, it was like this huge weight just lifted off my shoulder. And I was like, okay. And I never contacted him again, right? I left it right then and there. And over the years, I don't know if he was expecting me to beg him to stay with me or be with me or anything like that. I don't know what he was expecting. I think I shocked him by saying, okay, and literally just walking away and going on about my business and living my life. And of course, throughout that time, literally up until a couple of months ago, this year, he's been making fake pages, stalking my pages, all of these crazy ass things. Come to find out, he got 2 children. He living with some woman, and he got arrested in Douglas County. Yeah, I'm saying it, in Douglas County, Georgia, in October 2025 for possession of meth and some shrooms. And because I had been around him for some time, I know he not sophisticated enough to really have some real psilocybin. So I know he was just taking whoever was selling him the shrooms, whether they were selling it to him or he was growing it, it wasn't no real psilocybin. So his mind effed up, because he's not sophisticated enough to get no real psilocybin. I mean, you up there getting caught with meth. So he a meth head, a black meth head at that. So everything done worked out. But my daddy, he told me that he was a junkie and all this. He didn't say he was a junkie. He was like, he gonna end up a junkie. He was like, that dude, he gonna end up a junkie. You need to leave him alone. And I didn't listen. Thankfully, God protected me. My ancestors protected me this entire time. So that monkey that he obviously got on his back, it didn't jump on mine. None of that transferred over to me. It was really just a clean break. And when he looked me in my eye and told me, I don't want to be with you, I don't want you, it was like a huge weight was just released off of my shoulders. And I was able to just move on with my life. There was no reminiscing. There was no physical feelings like, man, I really miss this dude or anything like that. And even though it's not that I don't like the dude or I hate him or nothing, I literally have nothing for him. I don't have nothing for him. It's not even no hate. It's not even me want to have no revenge. Like, why would I want to have some revenge or retaliate against somebody who getting caught with meth and some random ass shrooms that probably was just growing outside after a rainstorm? Why would I want to retaliate against somebody like that? So I'm not upset with him. I'm very thankful that he flat out told me that he didn't want me and he didn't want to be with me. And that was the first, and now obviously clearly his actions with telling me that. But when he verbatim said it, that's when it was like, cool, peace out, dude. And that was what, November 2015. And my thing is, how you got 2 kids and you living with some woman, either she a bird or she on that shit with him too. Because how you live, I don't know if they live, I really don't care what they arrangements are, but y'all got 2 kids together and y'all need to figure that out. So she needs to get her old man in check so he can stop watching my page and watching what I'm doing, making all these fake pages, I guess, when he getting on that meth and all that. And you know what that meth do to your mind, got it going all over the place. So, and then the shrooms on top of that. You need to leave me alone. But anyway, after that, right, every other situation, it's not even situationships that I've been in, but, you know, when I'm dating and I'm encountering men, and now I'm saying all this to say 11 minutes in, I don't wait for somebody to verbatim tell me that they don't want me. They don't want to be with me. They don't want a relationship with me. I let the actions speak for themselves. So dating has become quite more fluid and easy for me because I pay attention to the signs real quick up front, and I just X the dudes out. You know, if your actions showing me, like say for instance, another guy, you know, had a crush on him for a long time. Not that I have no bad blood against him, but you asking me to marry you, and well, he asked me to marry him, and it wasn't a proper proposal. Like you sending it to me via text message or DM, however it was sent. Then come to find out, we get on the phone, I'm talking to him because I'm like, you know, something not right. I honestly thought he was just joking, and then we got on the phone, he was talking, and then I realized after the fact he was drunk when he asked me this. So I'm like, okay, well, he got something going on internally. I hope he can deal with that, because that's not how you really approach no woman, nobody. It don't matter that my name Queen, and yes, that's my real name. You don't approach no woman like that and propose to them. That's not how a marriage proposal is supposed to go. So I had to leave him alone because you approached me the wrong way with this marriage proposal. That was very disrespectful. And because of that disrespect, I had to realize that his actions, even though he was verbatim asking me to marry him and we was discussing all of these things, that his actions behind the proposal was his actions of telling me that he don't want me, because he already knew that you gotta come correct. And what type of woman would I be? I never even met this guy in person. So why would I say yes to a marriage proposal for somebody that I never even met in the physical? We never even had any physical, intimate interactions. I hope everything's going well with him, but that's just something that I just have to put in my past and say, well, you know, it didn't work out. We're not meant to be together. And it's not like my soul was yearning or anything for him. Really wasn't. I'm not into the whole soulmate thing, but we had just been conversing with each other off and on for over a decade, really, and really just wasting each other's time. If you want to be real, well, if I want to be real about it and be adult, we really was just wasting each other's time with the conversing that we was doing. And then the sham marriage proposal was just downright disrespectful and the icing on the cake. And, you know, my dad and my uncles wouldn't have accepted him if they found that they still don't even know that he did that. So I already know, based off of my dad and my uncles, there's a no-go for that brother. Handsome brother, but, you know, we just, what do you call it? Our minds don't meet, and we just not in alignment. So I wish him the best. Now, this other cat that I was talking about that's on the meth, I don't care about nothing. He got what? Yeah, y'all should be laughing, no, but because I hope I don't never have no son that end up like that. But yeah, like, just, man, it don't even apply to romantic relationships with men. Even if you're trying to have a friend girl relationship, if she's showing you that she really not a sister, she really not down for you and all of this, man, leave her behind. Kick her to the curb too. So it doesn't always have to be a romantic interaction. And I do want to stress that to y'all, but it's really late. Gotta get off of here. Queen with Soft Eye Boutique.